Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, I'm going to start doing the Tanto knife today. So I've taped up the blade. This I need to cut a bit out of the top and the bottom of this handle so I can stick the guard on. So the first thing I'll do is that, then I'll move on to the guard, which will be attempting to drill this first, because this is, although this is brass, it's a very hard brass. If that won't drill, I'll have to do it in aluminium. And then we'll go to cutting out some of these bits and then getting the wood ready, bolting that on and that. So yeah, the first thing, grind down the back and front of this handle so that the guard can slip on and not just come off. Right, so that's that bit ground down so the guard can be put on and it'll stop there. What I'll do now, just to see, is I'll drill this first. I'll attempt to drill it. If it doesn't drill, I'll know, if the drill bits I've got aren't good enough, I'll know to not bother cutting it out. I don't want to cut this out and it won't drill. So I'll try and drill it first. Then, if it drills, that'll be the guard. If not, I'll go to aluminium. Right, I couldn't drill the brass with the drill bit I've got. It just wouldn't drill. But the same exact drill bit flew through the aluminium. So I'm gonna have a nice thick aluminium suber, or whatever you call it, the guard. Now I'm just going to chisel this little bit out so that the blade will just slot straight in, and then I can start shaping this to a rough shape and then start getting the handle on to a rough shape. So the next thing you'll see is cutting that out and squaring that out. Blade fits in nicely, just need a bit of cleaning up and cut that out. That will obviously be rounded over. It's not going to be square, but that's just the basic shape, and the handle will come down to about here at least. So what I'll do now, I'll just get rid of these rough edges on this, and then we'll see about drilling the handle. Right, so I couldn't even drill the steel to the blade, but I've always had a technique to get around this anyway, which is to cut slots in, which these will still allow the bolts to sit in the middle where you want them and still stop the blade coming out, because the handle is going to be coming around the edge of this anyway, hiding all of that. So yeah, if you ever can't drill steel, you can cut slots in to receive the nuts or pins or whatever you like. Yeah, as long as the handle's covering it, or you just have a little slit there, it doesn't really matter. So what I'll be doing now then is start cutting some of the sections to go onto the handle. So it will be, we've got the guard, so it'll be the little plastic bits now, and then I'll start shaping the wood to go around. Right, so I won't be using the black because I noticed the black plastic's not really big enough. So this is how it's going to be now: red, yellow, aluminium, wooden handle, and I'm going to put a little copper round plate just to cover up the edge of this, if you can see that properly. So what I'll do next is cut the wood and start cutting the groove in so it can sandwich round. So I'm going to have two parts. It's not going to just slide on because that may be a bit difficult for me to cut the hole good enough. I may have two sections with a groove in, clamp them together, bolt them on. So what I'll be doing next is cutting that wood and getting it ready to put the slot in it. Right, that's that then. That'd be those two bits. So those will now go on like that. You need to just tidy up that top bit so that's flush, and then I can drill the holes, bolt these together, start shaping the handle then. Right, this is going to be the end of day one of it's dark now, so I'm going to have to stop here. So the wood scales are on, everything else is on. I am going to need to cut this down here and put another, because this won't move, but there's a gap, so I'm going to have to put another, possibly a bit of red in there. Not that that really matters, it's all stuff I can adjust as I go along anyway. So the next part of the video will be cutting off these corners of all of the materials and then starting to shape it around. Yeah, that's the hard bit done, I would say. Next, what I'll do, I'll glue it all together. Yeah, glue it all together and start shaping the handle and the guard and all that. Right, so I'll see you in the next part. Right, before you leave, if you ever wanted to support this channel, you can now via Patreon, or by shopping at Amazon.com and Gearbest. There's more info below if you need that. Remember, if you want to get full notifications for this channel, click the bell, and I'll see you later. Cheers.